So it only makes sense to have England host this match.
Yeah. Well, I guess we just start with their lineup. I'm pretty sure we have Xander, Luke, Fred, and Zach, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think the only difference when they played against Canada, they had Chi instead of Zach. So I don't know if this is a tactical decision to play Zach over Chi or just availability problem. So do you think this is their best lineup though?
I can't lie. I have a little bit of bias towards Luke since, he's someone I've known for a long time, always been like a speedster in the online scene. I do think that Luke does have a really good place in this lineup, considering he is one of the fastest players online. Having him sub in for Bo in this lineup is probably going to be beneficial because I feel like England has enough power to be up there. But if you have Luke up there in the front as well, it's going to be really, really powerful and hard for anyone to take him out.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think one thing about this like newer generation England lineup is after Xander, if you go Fred, Zach, and Chi, I feel like you don't have enough running power to compete with some of these lineups, and especially this Benelux lineup of Jeff and Leops. And obviously, Dane is a great runner in his own right. So having Luke there as some extra support for Xander, or it could be the other way around. Luke could just dominate this match and just be in first for a lot of it. I think that's a pretty good decision. I think Xander likes playing with Luke a lot. I mean, they've played together in previous World Cups, so they have more experience than some of these other guys. But Fred and Zach, part of this like newer, like I said, this newer generation of players. They came up with five. They've played together MA, now known as 2S. So, what do you think about these newer players and how will they do on the big stage?
I'm glad you brought up the fact that these newer players have been playing together for a while, like Fred, Zach, Bo. I've always seen them on the come up in the past few years, and always seen them play in Mogi Lounge as well. And honestly, they've improved a whole lot. They've proven to be essential members of this England lineup. I've known in the past that England has always stood a chance of being a winning team. They've made finals multiple times, from what I recall, and seeing them come together this year with this particular lineup, I think they're really strong and still going to be contenders for the championship. It's going to be really interesting to see how all these players come together to play in this match, though. But I think we could quickly discuss the Benelux lineup as
Yeah,
well,
let's go for
since,
it.
got to focus on the opposing team a little bit. We got Jeff, Leops, Dane, Leonardo, and Dragonfly 99 as the bagger. Now, one thing I can say right away, that seeing Jeff and Leops together is quite an insane duo that has already shown a lot of power in this World Cup. I mean, against most teams, but having Dane and Leo
Okay.
as a third and fourth runner is honestly something that I didn't expect. I knew Dane was coming up, and I know he's been getting a lot of coaching from Jeff and Leops in the months before the World Cup started. And seeing Leo slot in instead of like May or Thomas, what do you think about that, Zesty?
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I remember this team for D1 when NL played as a team in D1. That team did not go very well. It was pretty much Leops and no help. And Leo was a part of that team. And one thing I remember from that season, despite not playing in D1 that season, I'm pretty sure Leo rage quit that season, and that was a big reason why they had to drop. So I mean, I think he's a pretty big tilter, and in a 5 GP match, if it gets out of hand early, like we've seen in our previous matches, like you guys were down 40 for a lot of your war. I feel like Leo can't cope with that just based on what I've seen, what I know about him. So it's a big decision to play him, but they're confident in his abilities. But I can't say the same about this Jazz versus D-Fly matchup. What do you think about that?
This very much surprised me. Like, we saw in the matchup yesterday that Benelux actually did have Joris play as the bagger and then immediately switching back to Dragonfly. Now, I do understand that Dragonfly has been more active with Benelux scrims, and Joris hasn't really been too active in the past few months. I think he's been busy with a lot of things going on in life and hasn't really had too much time to play the game. So Dragonfly has been playing with this lineup quite a lot over Joris. But it's interesting to see that both the baggers have been given playtime. I think Dragonfly has less overall experience than Joris, but if he's been doing good with BNL, I don't see a reason why they should, not continue to use him.
Yeah, that is true. Just like thinking about the BNL bagger, I think everyone was thinking it was gonna be Yoris, like no question. And then you have DFly for availability because he's probably gonna be more available than Yoris. But I'm very surprised to see DFly get the nod over Yoris, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. We've seen some interesting bag battles in this World Cup already. I casted the Under versus Mac one. That was a pretty interesting one. I think a lot of people thought Mac was gonna dominate, but in the end, I don't know if that was actually the case. You probably know better than me. So, I mean, just on paper, I'd say Jazz has a favorable edge, but we'll see. Across 20 races, we don't know what's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, this is like when it comes to bagging, there's a lot that you can't really control, which is why it's always exciting to see new baggers enter the playfield because you never know what's going to happen in the bagging department for the most part. Some things can go the way you expect, and other times, unexpected things just happen. And one thing I gotta ask before this match starts: who you got winning this, Zesty?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you the same question because whoever loses this is gonna have like a pretty low seed and has a better chance at getting knocked out. So I was gonna ask you, who do you want to lose this? Who are you more scared of? And if they lose, maybe get a lower seed and get knocked out in the first round of the top 8.
I think seeing Benelux lose this would be like very surprising for me, but at the same time, I think it would be very good to see them have a slightly lower seed. That you never know what's going to happen in these matches because right now, where I sit with India, we're in like second seed, so we're going to be playing one of the lower seeds in this from that come from the Swiss stage, and either one of these two teams being in round 5 of the Swiss stage is something I could not have anticipated. So I think either team losing here is going to be challenging for me in one way or another.
Yeah,
But
that is true.
yeah, I think now we got to move on to race 1. DK Summit picked from Benelux.
Yeah, yeah. Or is this a Benelux pick? DK Summon 2-4? Or would this be England pick?
I think I believe I saw Benelux picking this on the voting screen, and I don't blame them one bit. I know a lot of the BNL players are very experienced on this track. Leops in particular having a really good time on the old shortcut category. But Luke's gotten himself pretty good at this track in the past few months, getting pretty close to worldwide tops, getting some pretty insane paces. Going for this double lap one, looking kind of close with Jeff, but is able to execute it just fine.
Yeah, and if this is a BNL pick, which I'm gonna trust you on that, then Jeff is just eagling Luke and is winning that eagle battle because he just overtakes him and is gonna keep first for a pretty long while unless Luke can get a snipe off. The
And
bag
we
battle is gonna be
see
pretty interesting.
Jazz makes the bagging strat first.
Yeah, I think our delays are a bit, they're not in sync, but I thought a shock was coming here. We are gonna see a shock later on in this race, spoiler alert, but for now, Luke still in second place here. Forcing Jeff not to do double. That's actually a pretty big moment in this race here.
Honestly, really good to see him take over first. D-Fly is sitting back here, and we're
He might
seeing,
have
I
it. He
believe,
might have it. Just the way
yeah,
he's just
Jazz
sitting
making his
there.
way back.
And this is bad. Let's see if Luke stops here. If he goes, this is just a free shot call, and it's surely going to be a free shot call here.
We see 2-3 entering cannon. No
Ooh,
sign of shock from
no.
BNL. Gonna see mid spots
Wow.
dodging, but Luke getting shocked into his own shell.
Wow. I mean, I think that's an England shock. That surely has to be an England shock then.
Yeah, I see Dane in the back just entering the cannon right there. Probably going to see a lot of England coming up in mid spots right now. Can Luke get Jeff out of this first place position? Maybe
Oh.
not quite.
Wow, Jeff
Wait,
not going for a cut. Maybe is there a blue? Or he's just scared of getting bumped off, Luke?
not seeing one. Luke seems like he's just going to be able to take over first place right here. Missed trick, but it should not matter.
And it's
England top
Xander
2.
second. Wow. Wow, that is so strange from Jeff. I think he was just scared of getting bumped off both laps. Maybe not lap 2, but that lap. He was scared of getting bumped off, and because of that, just gives up top 2. I mean, at any
Wow.
other point in this war, I feel like Jeff is going for that double and winning the race, but it's a first race. You probably don't want to get tilted first race by making a bad call on a 50-50 there. So he just keeps second, maybe thinks he can still beat Luke somehow, and in the end, top two, 4-8 to start for England. Wow, what a start.
I could not have seen that one coming. I can't even lie. Like I was peeping the other perspective during that race, and we saw Leops holding a star at one point, and I thought for sure that he would have been able to snag a dodge with it, but he wasn't able to. Not sure why he didn't use his star entering Cannon lap 3. He would have easily taken over first place if he did so. So it was really shocking not to see him do that there. But still,
Yeah,
a pretty
yeah,
good
it was
race for
super
England to
weird.
start it off.
Basically, yeah, I saw the same thing as you did. Leops had a star in third, so he was behind Jeff with a star, and basically, they shocked Leops out in midair, so he couldn't use the star as he landed. So we saw Dragonfly in last there, so I think Leops is thinking there's no chance Jazz had shock or something strange there. That's just not a play from both of our top BNL players. That's just not what we were expecting to see. And because of that, we're gonna have an early lead for England.
Now we see KC on the side of BNL once again. Interesting track pick for these spots, but I can agree with it. It's a very neutral track from what I've seen in the competitive scene. So it's going to be interesting to see if Luke can establish a lead early. If he gets a green shell or something here, it would be very ideal to put himself in first place. Gonna see what he gets. A banana, not going to be able to do the Shroomba strategy.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for him, but it looks like nobody's gonna pass him. So no shroom bars, but we're definitely gonna see a golden, surely.
Yep, we see someone shrooming up right now on the mini map, but they're not taking the full cut. So
That's
Luke's just going to keep
crazy.
first place.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen this sort of race for first place in a long time where they get to keep first after all of that happens at lap one. And maybe he just gets a ground star and is able to build a big lead here. Let's see. Free ground star for him.
Yep. We should be seeing this banana dropped in the cut in a tight. Oh, maybe not because of that ramp. Alex, not to drop a banana in the shortcut. Kind of
Surely you
surprising
go
there.
for a shroom here or a green shell. No, he's just gonna hold both his items. Okay.
I think this is a somewhat understandable decision. He wants to maintain his top spot, have his protection out so he can't get hit by any surprise attacks right after the Shroomba exit. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to be catching him anyway. A target
Yeah,
power on, or attempted target power on 2-3, I believe, judging by the mini map.
yeah. So and still we look at the baggers. Nobody has moved, which means both baggers are still trying for. I think BNL are in a more desperate position, just based on what we know, and we really don't know a lot from this Luke POV. He's just driving in first. We'll see what happens in the back of the pack. Another
And
ground
another
star
ground
for
star.
him. I think D-Fly drops another one as well. So whoever's in second is gonna be able to maintain their pace with Luke. But a shock is really what BNL need, or a blue.
An interesting. Oh, hits the Nano that he
Oh, that's
placed
his.
lap two.
Yeah, that's his own Nana.
Has a BNL member behind him. Not sure if they're going to be able to catch him. He does take the Shroomba. Maybe he's going to be right next to Luke here. It's Leops.
Oh, Luke versus Leops. Oh no.
All right, what
I
are we
got
going to
Luke
see
winning this
here?
though.
I mean,
Surely.
obviously the speedster's got to win this one. Surely. See if he can get it back.
Oh
Oh,
my
Nana hit.
god!
No.
I think they're both itemless now. It's just a battle of lines. You can't give up a draft. Can Jazz save his race here? Just give him the ground star. That surely wins him the race. Unless they split it. Let's see.
D-Fly drops a star. Doesn't get it.
D-Fly
Leops
tries.
misses it as
They
well.
they both miss.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's a green out. A red. Not going to connect. Leops
He
getting
gets
hit on the line
redded.
as well.
How?
Oh my
How is he getting
gosh.
redded there?
We saw a BNL member in third as well. Not sure what happened, and he's still spinning on the map.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
he
gosh!
lost. I think he loses this race somehow.
No way. I no. We need to see what he actually got off of that. That was. I don't really
He
know what to say. What happened
wow.
there? Was that
And
Leo's
that
red?
it had to be like how why are we throwing reds there? There's no reason to do that.
Oh no, dude. That's just like the pressure building up. Leops gets
Last
8.
place. He gets last place.
What?
One,
No,
three,
that's
four for England. And
that's just crazy.
oh my god. And I talked about it before. The tilt factor is definitely a thing. Obviously, it's just race 2 of race 20, but that that should have been a free 15 for him because he could have got that ground star. And in the end, he gets last place. That is
I can't believe I
genuinely
just saw that.
unreal. He
All
got
right,
blued online, but now we're on Leop's POV.
of
See
race
if we
3.
see
Yep.
some of that tilt from last race. I don't think Leop is that sort of person, but it's hard to stay consistent after just getting destroyed by your own team.
Yeah, if you want to have any chance of winning this after a start like
Big
that, oh my
bomb,
gosh,
wow.
that is so
Huge
good
bomb.
for BNL. Leops could just carry these shrooms into first, take the cut, and have one shroom in first, just running. Is he gonna elect to take shortcut here? Oh, pow!
Oh,
Oh, does not avoid it.
he tried to get that little micro bounce thing, the dodge pow. He couldn't get it, but still, this is such a commanding position on this track as well. So hard to catch up, but see how England can do it.
No items to take care of these tops. Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. Xander
Yeah.
being taken out. Luke right behind Leops, though. Maybe Leops can take him out with this green shell here, but Luke's going to elect to go around. No reason to be so aggressive on the rail lap 1. You have a lot of time in this race. Gonna see which bagger's coming back first. We see D-Fly back here in 10.
Ooh. Okay. A shock here for BNL. Oh, another big snipe. Damn, Luke is playing unreal right now. Like, we haven't seen Xander at all. It's just been the Luke show so far.
This is what we like to see. I like to see my boy up in the front, running it up, especially on this track of all tracks. Luke is a very
Of
strong
course,
rider. I've
yeah.
known that for so long now. I'll be very surprised to see anyone approach him with just lines. Gonna need to see some item play if we want to see anyone approaching. But Fred shrooming up into second, not being taken out by the Nanas, thrown by Leops. Not sure who's currently behind in fourth place, but we still have top 2. I saw Leo in fourth.
Yeah, I think so. Another thing to note was we saw D-Fly in last, but the first respawner was Jazz, and one of the baggers is going forward. I'd like to think that Jazz has the shock here. Pulled first box after respawn. I think he just pulled it.
Oh, very close shot on Leops here, but Fred just giving him a run for his money. Hopefully Fred doesn't get redded out in this process, but the Nana tight!
Ah, just the obvious backspam, but there's so much pressure on him that he just forced to hit it. Fred, oh, I thought that was a bad fail there. If this is top 2 and shock, this is, oh no.
This might be wraps. Oh, we see, oh, D-Fly's back here. So
He was trying to drop star, yeah.
Shot.
Jazz definitely has it. This is a late call for Xander or for whoever else is back there, but this top 2 looks so secure.
There's also a divide between like third, fourth, and the rest of the packs. We might see Xander and Zach electing to go for maybe 6, 7, or they might not even use it at all. Never mind, we see a use into set.
Well, I was kind of scared that he crossed there. I thought maybe a late blue could have went for Leo, but it looks like 3, 4, 5 for BNL. But England are just running away right now. They're just playing much better. Even after that lap 1 bomb that decimated their top 3, they just kept goldening back up. The pressure was just so good from them. They just keep getting into the front, and Luke is on 45 after 3.
Honestly, like that pressure lap 3 was insane. I don't know if like I mean we didn't point that out, but when Fred was right behind Leops was basically forced to go into a tight line to try to force Fred into an outer line, and that's why I'm pretty sure that's why he hit the banana there, which allowed Fred to just pass him easily. And this
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
this is
that's
going
definitely what
exactly how I
happened.
expected it to go, honestly. This is the Luke difference that I've been waiting to see from England.
Yeah, and I pointed it out, we both pointed out in the preview that without Luke, this team loses a lot of running power, and we're just seeing it in full effect here. Luke on 45. We haven't seen a lot of Xander at all because Luke has just been that guy. And we've seen Luke win out against his battles versus Leops, which is something I think not a lot of us were expecting to see, but I don't want to jinx him. There's a lot of time to crumble, but at the moment, Luke looks like the best player in the room and the best player by a lot.
I think we have a lot of nerves to account for here. I think
That
that's
is
what I'm
true.
seeing. I don't see this crumbling happen in any other scenario, but right now this is a very unique scenario, and Goldmine being picked for these spots.
I want to start with Luke here. Let's just see if he can keep up. I think we've got our delays fixed here, so nothing to
Yeah,
worry
sure.
about on that
Surely he
end.
goes for the beginning turn skip, right? Like I think that's the best strategy to go 4-1.
Let's see.
Oh, drift storage. Yep,
Yeah,
nice.
drift storage. Nothing more, nothing less you'd expect from him.
more gonna want to see Xander giving Luke some space. If Xander gets an item to be aggressive with the BNL members behind him, this is going to be very important in getting Luke the front run that he wants. Zach also shrooming up at the beginning, already top 2 for England.
Yeah, and he has like a pretty big break. Like he's out of sniping distance already, and this is scary for BNL. Shroom in second. If Zach lets him in the first, which I think should happen at some point, it's
Right
already
here,
happening
yep.
right here. This is just a free time trial for Luke.
We're
It's
gonna see
exactly what
Baggers
he
coming
wants.
back as well. We see DeFly and 10 again.
Yeah, might be honestly a lap 2 shock might be on the cards here.
Oh,
But he has to get
100%.
it first. Let's look at the bag. Let's see if DeFly jumps off. If he jumps off, he probably doesn't have it. Let's see if he slows down here. No, but he does.
Both Baggers still going back.
Doesn't mean, yeah. Oh,
We see
okay.
Dane dodging up in Bill.
Yeah, they were forced to shock. They couldn't TS because Dane was forced into Bill. So whoever forced that Bill out of him, that's a pretty huge, like, topic in this race because Luke was definitely dying if that Bill was not forced. But one blue and the 60 is still on.
I didn't quite catch who Luke has behind him, but we still see DeFly and 10. Dane just holding on to 1. It's very unlikely that he gets taken out of this first position unless one of England pulls a blue in the mid spots. I'm not sure what the mid spot battle is looking like right now. Unfortunately, that red's not going to be able to connect because of the bats. DeFly off the track. No sign of shock right now.
Yeah,
Jazz
Jazz could have it.
sitting?
He's driving forward.
Yeah, Jazz just sitting.
It's
Or just going
England in
forward.
third as well. So this is just a super easy 2-3 here. Maybe we see a shock red. I don't think we will. Probably a late
We
shock, if anything.
We are
From,
not seeing the shock red. Yep, Luke waiting
yeah.
on the line for Zach. Not sure who's crossing in fourth.
It's 7-8.
Wow.
7-8 for BNL on our other POV. Nothing really to look at from Lias's POV, which is why we didn't switch. He was just in the back for most of that, doing nothing. But the 60's broken, but the momentum from England continues.
Yeah, that race seemed like almost neutral all around. It really just depends on what other spots England was able to get besides that 2-3. I didn't catch it myself. Oh, wow.
Oh,
2, 3, 4, 6. Huh.
yeah. That just looking at how that race played out, if you have Shock, you have Bill, especially having it so early in the race, I'm expecting 100% PNL to win that race, but someone forced Dane into Bill, and because of that, they were scared that Luke wasn't even gonna make it to the TS ramp while the Bill was still in place, so they just had to call it, and because of that, Luke just runs free in second, and Dane has no way to really kill them, and it's another winning race for England. What a start.
This is not what I expected at all. I'll be honest. Like I thought it was gonna be a little bit closer with like, Jeff, Leops in the front with Luke, maybe even Dane. Dane's another speedster that I didn't really talk about because he's another really fast player I've known. He's been in the scene for a significant amount of time, always been a time trialer from what I know. He's got lines just like like the other players that we're talking about in this room. We got to see more from BNL just interrupting the top spots because they're able to break into them slightly, but they're not able to utilize it to the best. Because as we saw in Goldmine itself, we had Dane in the front, he was uninterrupted, but BNL was unable to break into the spots behind first as well. So, what do you think has to happen with BNL in the next few races if they want to get back into this and make it close?
I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just bagging. I know a lot of teams like to bag for that 8th place box, and because of that, you kind of waste a player. Like, that's pretty much guaranteed to hold a star, hold Bill all race. Which in that case, we did see Dane got a box say and was able to win, but I think we saw RBC should have been like a classic example of how to break the other team's top spots, right? You get a bomb, you throw it up, you're looking golden, but I don't know what the strategy is. Maybe a track like BC3, pretty much an unrunnable track, is something you need to just stop Luke from. We need to see Luke in the back of the pack for once. Like, come on. He's just running and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, if Luke gets into 1v1 scenarios where he's in the second position rather than the first position, that's when things are going to get really interesting because they're going to be able to put more pressure on him and bring the pack closer together. But we see DK Mountain getting picked on the side of England. Honestly, kind of surprised to see this one with Luke in first. I would have elected for more of like a DDR track pick. But this one, both teams have their players that are very strong at this track. Going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, and Luke Starting in first here. Let's see if he can keep it. No, he can't. An early draft or an early shroom. I'm not sure which is the case, but doesn't look like Luke's gonna be able to punish regardless of what item or no item Jeff has in first. So finally, I mean, we've seen BNL get into first, right? It just they can't get more than one body up there, and Luke's just driving really well. Jeff losing some time on him. I wouldn't with the form Luke's in. I wouldn't be surprised that he wins this 1v1 here. Oh my goodness. He might be in first.
Oh, it's close, but I think Jeff is still going to be barely ahead. This bridge getting a lot of slowdown, though.
Wow, I mean, you can just see this guy's in flow state. This guy's on a different level. He just outlined Jeff like so easily. Like, and we're gonna see a shock.
A top 2 shock, wow.
Top 2 shock. Everything is going England's way, but that was just all because of Luke just putting so much pressure on Jeff. The cleanest outline you'll ever see in a D1 match on one of the most mechanically sound players in the game. That's just the level Luke is on right now.
This is really good for England. I don't know if they're going to be able to lose these spots. We could probably switch over to Leops and take a look at the mid-pack going on for this race. Leops holding a star in 5th right now. We're seeing
They need second shock.
You know,
Ooh.
oh, having used the star early is not what you want. It's not what you get the star on England.
Securing that 3-4-5 for the boys, but it's just not looking good. We see a pretty much wasted power there from England because they know they. Ooh, there's a start to something. There's a start.
This could be what BNL needs. That blue coming out now. If we could see a shock accompany that as well, we could see BNL break into 2-3-4 for sure. But with the break that England has in top 2, I'm not 100% sure if they'll even catch them.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably need a POW to combo him as well, and I don't think we're seeing one. And if that's the case, I think Luke's winning. Xander's probably getting second here. We do
Another
see a
shock
shock.
comes in.
Oh
he's off
my
the track.
goodness!
No,
What are we
Leops.
seeing?
That's not what you want to happen there. Leops is going to be getting 8th off of that. Oh no.
This is just a shocking performance so far from BNL. Jeff getting outlined lap 1. Leops just floundering so far. This is unreal. And Luke, I think, wins again. He's on 72 after 5.
This is just crazy, dude. It's just all going right for England. Everything that needs to be happening at the front at the beginning of these races is happening. This is not at all what I expected to see.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many close matches in this World Cup. I think everyone is expecting an unbelievable match. And I mean, it is an unbelievable match, but not in the way all of us were expecting. Luke just on a tear right now.
This is really interesting to see. BNL was able to break into the mid spots that race. Unfortunate that Leops made that blunder and ended up getting 8th off of it. Would have made that race a lot closer if that didn't happen. But we are seeing some interactions that need to happen a little bit. BNL was able to break into the mid spots that race, unable to break into the top 2, just barely. That blue shell was a step in the right direction. But now we got to see if BNL can find a track pace that'll help them break in more. DK's Jungle Parkway. Oh,
Hey,
boy.
I mean, if you get a golden first set without stopping, that's a great way to just hopefully secure yourself first after lap 1. But the problem is BNL are just not getting into first after lap 1. They have it lap 1 and they just kind of lose it as the lap goes on. So I don't know what to say. It's just I'm hoping they get a track pick because if it's Moonview, which it isn't, I was gonna say if it's Moonview, I think we're just gonna see more of the same with Luke just running it up.
I don't know how I feel about this track pick, though. This one's kind of surprising for these spots, because with Luke in first and Xander in second, they might have liked to make a play to make sure that 3rd and 4th don't get the comeback that they need at the beginning. We might also see Leops selecting to sit for an 8th here. No, it just gets the draft and goes forward.
Yeah, doesn't get a box though. Leo getting into first. We've seen BNL be able to do this. Can they keep it though?
They've broken into this top 2. Gotta see if Luke has anything to counter Leops' itemless state right now. Gonna be unable to do so. Oh, Leo getting bombs! And Leops can use his shroom immediately.
One goes down. Will Leops be able to stay up? It's again the Luke versus Leo battle in top 2. I mean, I always favor the guy in first here, and especially on this narrow bridge. Let's see. Luke
Not
dodges
landing
one.
a hit.
And Luke will survive for now. Maybe a side red, maybe a side green. Nothing.
Oh, we see Luke taking cut. Unable to break into first. A little bit of a rough exit on his end.
One of the baggers is going forward. BNL's bagger is going forward. Yeah, D-Fly should have it. Will they elect to use it here?
I feel like they might elect to wait for lap 3. I think I see Leo in the back there. Probably going to have some of BNL getting dodges and maybe wait for the end of the race if top 2 can hold on like this.
Yeah, it's the first time really in this match where BNL are, you favor them to just win this race from this point on. But lots of race to play. Blues are still a factor. POWs are still a factor. Lots can happen. D-Fly could lose the shock too. Jazz is right on his tail. You can see them with the paddle glitch. They're so close to each other.
And a blue comes out and hits another BNL member.
Yeah, I went for Dane and I think it targeted Dane very early. I think D-Fly held shock. I'm pretty sure he did.
I want to say so. I'm not 100% sure. Zach is up here with Leops right now. England 2-3. Gonna see
they
all
can't
top
call
people in cannon.
Who's gonna dodge in cannon?
Dodging. Not going to be seeing that. I think that's better for either team because I think the spots are kind of scrambled right now. Another blue comes out and it hits Leops.
Yeah, he doesn't get anyone else in it. We have to see a shock from BNL. There goes Dane as well.
Oh my! And shock in the set.
Only one Dodger though.
Oh, and a blue shell and a mega pull. Everything's coming together. Oh, not the single red in 7th though. Actually,
switch to Luke's POV. Luke's gonna dodge this blue with a ground star.
What? No way. Is this star taken to the end? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Is Dane gonna getting one? Dane's getting one.
Okay, Dane gets one, but who's getting the rest?
Third.
It's not a big race. It's not a big race for BNL.
What?
And you take that for England. What a play from Jazz, just running in front of his runner in first, and because of that, a free dodge for Luke. Nothing can go wrong for this man right now. Dane wins that race, but I think it's 1-4 at best.
Honestly, that interaction right there is the Jazz difference that I haven't really had a chance to talk about very much. The reason that Jazz excels as a bagger over a lot of other baggers in D1 is because of his communication skills. That interaction right there is an instance of that communication that Jazz is so well known for. He was able to run in front of his runners right there, drop the star at the perfect time, and Luke was able to dodge blue because of it. He wasn't able to take the cut at the end, unfortunately, but still able to hold on to a top spot because of that interaction.
Yeah, this is just, it must be frustrating for BNL because, like, when you think about it, they had shock, they had top 2. Like, again, you're expecting them to really come out and do something great with the shock. And they shock in a boxes, they get mega and blue, which look like really, really strong items. And in the end, it's just a mere 1-4-5-6, which is, at this point, you're feeling like you kind of need to get a big race to get the momentum back in your favor, and that's probably not doing it.
The cards were all right there, but unfortunately they couldn't be played to the best of their capability because of that lap 3 interaction between some of BNL, and I saw Xander hitting Dane at the very end there. But overall, a good race to get BNL slowly but surely back into this, seeing BC3 picked by England right now. Not even close to surprised to see this track come out in this stage of the World Cup. Always a very, very interesting track in terms of what happens. Not really sure if we have a decided winner on this track until lap 3.
Yeah, I want to switch to Leops' POV on this track. He's probably one of the better players on this track. Let's see what... Do a little bit of trolling here. That Leops versus Xander sort of rivalry. I don't know what they make of it. Let's see if he'll go for the ultra here. Zach's on it. Zach probably gonna make it. No, yeah, no block there. And this should be a pretty easy way into first, but no, Fred matches him with the double goldens there.
Are we gonna see Leops electing to try to get Fred out of here? Maybe a front red is possible at this moment. Not quite. Cena attempted, not working.
He's gonna try and force outline here. I think Fred's gonna give it up. Yeah, I mean, that's just what Leops does. He can win those sort of situations where he shouldn't. Yeah, let's see if he goes for ultra here. This will be a big decision. He's definitely going for it. If he backs that Nana, he's definitely going for it. Can they stop him?
This is kind of risky. Is anyone gonna contest him on it?
Nobody's stopping him. Wow.
And Jeff takes cut as well.
I'm so surprised that nobody got to him in time. That's a pretty big balls play from Leos, but that's exactly what you expect from him.
See D fly back here. Jazz pretty gone in 10 in terms of the bagging battle. Not sure. Or seems like Jazz might have.
Yeah, if Jazz has, then again, all this hard work from Leos may turn into nothing here. 3-4 is not bad at all, especially if you have shock. Nice back spams though.
Giving Jeff a lead in 1 is probably your best shot at getting a decent race here, because if you can get to the cut before they use it, never mind. You get a shock early into the set. And Liam's getting stopped by this wall. He's itemless right now. He could potentially get hit. A blue comes out. And a bomb gets thrown. It's off the track. Liam's is gonna go for it.
Everyone's gonna go for it. Literally
everyone's contesting him on it. Can he get it? Can he get the shroomless though? Luke pulls out greens on him. But Luke unable to make it himself.
And
BNL top 3.
Every single England player failed cut.
BNL top 4.
What?
Oh,
Nobody made it. No England player makes a shortcut lap 3.
Oh, this is not the outcome that you wanted from that shock. That was like the worst possible case.
They needed
sitting on the ultra.
Yeah, they needed some momentum. They get it because England just they had free cuts everywhere. Leops didn't even contest. I mean, surely Xander's gonna have a word with Fred there. Xander's on the ultra first, and Fred jumps on it with him, and I think they just mess each other up. And Luke doesn't make cut either. Top 4, and we have ourselves a match once again.
Like I don't know why that happened. Like I think England
neither,
had it in the bag. I think you can spread out those cuts. I don't think regular cut just wasn't blocked. We saw people going for shroomless. Could have had one person go for regular cut, one person go for ultra. Even though Leop still has an open chance at it, you still have more opportunities to get England up there. They ultimately ruined their own chances by having too many people on the ultra end. As you can see now, scores are a lot closer if the table is going to update. We see an 11-point difference between England and BNL right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's one race is all it takes, and that's exactly what we saw. One thing to note is that shock was used into boxes. We saw one of them get blue, and really nobody got shrooms from that shock in the boxes, because otherwise someone had a free cut there, and nobody went for a shroom cut there. It looked like they all went for shroomless options. So maybe a little bit of unfortunate, but at the same time, someone has to make it. At this level, you can't have all 4 of your guys fail the cuts. And, I mean, I don't know who to blame there. Not Jazz, for sure.
Oh, no, that was 100% a miscom on the runners. You got to be really, really careful on who you send to each cut. And right now, BNL is going to be moving with the momentum and getting TF for their top 4. One of the best tracks to get for top 4. Gonna see if they can get the draft off of 1-4 and get one person into the front right away.
Yeah, I want to see what Leops does in third, because some people do like to bag in third. So we'll see if he's gonna go for Bill, or is it if he's just gonna keep his spot here. He is just gonna keep his spot. Gets a 5th place mega.
This is an insanely good pull. He can just keep a lot of England back here. If he lands the hits, doesn't land the hit on Zach, and Luke is able to move past him in a star, so we have Leops in 8th now.
Yeah, we do see a lot of England still back here. Fred, Luke, and Xander, and looks like 5, 6, 7. So, and a Bill.
Bill 8.
I don't know if that's good though. I feel like you might want to use this because, well, nobody in the entire room will know he has Bill. This is like the most hidden Bill you could possibly have here. So maybe you'll decide to keep it because Jazz is not going to be touching boxes knowing someone is holding Bill. So maybe there is a little bit of surprise factor, but at the same time, you could use Bill just to make sure they can't pull shock.
Yep,
and that's what he's gonna do.
This is a fine Bill. He's just gonna take him up to first, gets him away from any potential trouble with England. Now BNL gonna have a nice top 2 going on right here. Gonna see if England can find any way to break into it. Maybe some blues. Maybe someone's gonna go for shock.
Great pow.
Pow on shroomless. And Luke getting a red off.
Yeah, that pow is literally killer.
Oh my gosh!
Look at that.
England breaks into top 4.
I mean, whoever called that pow, that was just literally a race-changing play. That could be like a 30-point swing if England get top 4 out of it. And it looks like they're in really good position to do so. Now, D-Fly is the one who's going to have to go for shock. One of the baggers is sitting. it could be a bait from Jazz. It could very well be a bait from Jazz.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any sort of shock going on right
And
here. We see, yep,
it is
Jazz is the one that's
Jazz.
back there. See someone moving up in Bill,
Another bill for BNL.
and no shock to a company, and shock,
Oh, and a
and
blue.
Luke getting blued. Oh my gosh,
Who's coming up here? Surely I was
Dane.
Dane.
Yep, BNL
Oh
breaking into the
wow.
top two. Who else is up here? Fred. Gonna be seeing 3, 4, 5, I think, for England here. Top two, 6, 7.
Yeah, and great play by Dragonfly. Doesn't fall for that bait. Jazz just trying to like delay time for his team by making D-Fly chase him. But Dragonfly knew his team had Bill. He knew that there was a good chance Jazz has shot, but what can I do at this point? I just gotta keep going for it. And Jazz, D-Fly doesn't fall for that bait. Uses a great shot for his team. Jeff calling it into boxes. Dane dodging up, and wow, they get another winning race here.
This is getting more and more uncomfortable. It's just like this war is getting closer and closer to what I expected it to be. England now only up 2 after race 8. Oh man. This is turning into a match. This is turning into the match that I expected it to be. Now, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what to expect for the next 3 GPs though. We got to remember that for the first 4 GPs, we're not going to be seeing any repicks. And once we get to GP5, then the track pool that we've been seeing so far is going to be available once again.
yeah, exactly. And we can take a quick look at the individual scores. Someone looks like they
Oh
leave the
wait,
room.
that's D-Fly leaving the room.
I think there is no sub. Yeah, there is no sub thing in the Swiss Reps chat. So I think he's just gonna restart his hotspot because Dragonfly has DC in prior matches. I think he had some connection issues against you guys. I'm pretty sure.
I do recall something along the lines of that. Yeah.
So probably a hotspot reset. I'm gonna just list the scores here. Luke is on 93, which you'd think would be like the highest score in the room by a lot, but Dane just 52 and he's on 80. So two guys we probably weren't expecting to MVP their teams. Maybe Luke more understandable compared to Dane, but two pretty underrated players in the scene right now, popping off for their respective nations. And Jeff on 62, Xander 61. We have ourselves a 2-point game. How do we get to this point? Like, it looked like England had it after GP1. It looked like they could just not chill, obviously, but I can't believe it's come down to this already.
Oh wait, I'm getting some intel in the chat right now that was an England shock. I'm not sure how reliable that is, but that was an England shock, major blunder there because they did get Luke right
Really?
after the ramp and getting
Wow.
comboed by the blue as well. A lot of BNL was able to make their moves into the front. Not sure if they tried to call that shock to get Jeff out of his bill.
Yeah, I was confused. Like, I didn't see Jazz spin out, but I thought maybe he was just chilling in a star. Maybe I just saw it wrong because that shot made a lot of sense for BNL because Jeff, despite not dodging in the bill, he got shocked onto the ramp, got Luke after the ramp. Dane looked like he dodged up as well. I'm so confused why you would call a shock there at all, and it cost them their race. And that's like bad shocks can really just kill momentum and just kill a vibe of a call, especially in a match like this where they could have easily won that race, and instead they just hand it to BNL.
Honestly, yeah, I think we're seeing like a flip in like I want to say nerves. Maybe nerves is
Yeah,
finally settling in. I mean, BNL, we saw a few blunders that were very uncharacteristic during the first 2 GPs, but things seem to play out a lot better for them that GP, whether it be with shocks or just overall driving, getting themselves up there. I think we're finally seeing BNL get into the form that we know that they can be in, and we're going to be seeing a very, very intense next 2 GPs to see who actually advances into the bracket stage from here.
yeah, and oh man, I don't I don't remember if we formally gave our predictions. I think you said you'd be surprised to see BNL lose this. I also agree with that, and for just from a Canada perspective, I don't want England to win because we cannot play England in the 2-2 round. So that's just a big team that we're not able to play. So I'm hoping BNL win just for my team's sake alone, and they're giving us a match here.
We already do have quite an intense matchup going on here. I'm not really sure what to expect for the future stages. We can quickly talk about that real quick. I didn't realize that the Swiss graphic was up on the screen. I'm very excited to see what types of matchups are going to be happening following this stage. I have a few matches that I think are going to be very interesting. One that I have my eyes on in particular is Italy and Germany.
Okay. What do you think's gonna happen there?
That's the thing. The fact that this matchup is happening in this position of all positions is not what I could have seen coming. I expected initially Germany to be in a very comfortable seat, maybe going from 1-0s to 0 or to 0-1, going into the middle group in the 1-1, and then you would see them in round 4 in either one of these seeds. But no, we saw Germany going 0-1, then 0-2, and then getting a free win versus Norway to go into the 1-2 group. I did not expect this to happen at all. I thought for sure we'd be seeing more dominance from Germany with the LU that they have this year. And Italy also showing signs of life in the match versus Australia. That match came down to a few unfortunate blunders in the end. If you guys missed that match, there was a race on the side of Italy where they had a very certain top two, but the very end came down to a very unfortunate, I want to say, controller mishap on the side of Italy, causing them to go from second all the way to seventh, causing a significant point swing, which almost made it impossible in the later races for them to come back. So seeing that happen in that match and seeing both these teams pitted up against each other, I feel like that's going to be a close match, closer than one would expect it from an outsider perspective.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Germany, despite being 1-2, like you said, they received a free win, so they have not won a match in this World Cup. And they haven't played in a while too, because the last match was against Canada, came down to last GP, and I mean they just didn't come out on top. So I don't know what to expect. I think in an alternate universe, you would be expecting to see Germany in that 2-1 slot playing against Japan. I think France and Germany have pretty much swapped in performance, and I do want to talk about this France team. They haven't. I think they've got a few casts, but I haven't been able to cast them myself. They went. They went 1-1. I'd be. I mean, I think a lot of people expect this team to make it, considering they're 2-1. They have two chances to make it through, but hey, I mean, it comes down to who they play in this final round, and if one of these teams, I think they can play both of these teams in that 2-2 match. I don't think they've played either so far. If I'm
Yeah, they
looking,
haven't. Yeah, we've
so
seen France
yeah,
play matches against Germany, USA South, and Ireland.
yeah, so like a pretty tame group run so far, just from what we've seen, and I mean it's gonna be scary because every team that makes it to that 2-2 just praying that they don't get the loser of this match because whoever loses, like I think we still agree that there is like a top four sort of team in here coming down to this 2-2 bracket. So whoever, I mean, good luck to whoever gets them. And it'd be pretty harsh to see France pull them after having such a surprising tournament so far.
It'll be very interesting to see which team gets who, but ideally the matchups are going to be one group from the 2-1 group versus a team from the 1-2 group, forming these 2-2 matchups for round 5. Again, got to see how all these matches play up and got to make sure we don't have any repeats in the bracket as well. It's going to be exciting to see which teams could potentially come back or go into the 2-2 seed. Like there's a lot of matches that I see here that could go either way, but the impact that it has on the rest of the Swiss stage is going to be pretty drastic.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm not sure. The one thing I'm interested to see is whoever loses this match, assuming they win that 2-2 match. Like, I wonder what seed they'll be. Because if they're a low seed, then I mean, we could have like a absolutely banging round one of like whoever loses this versus like a Japan or someone of that nature, and that would be oh my god, that would be sad for whoever loses that one. But it looks like this room finally getting underway. I think Emil has to go BRB for a bit, so a little bit of a solo cast. Hopefully you guys will not get annoyed with my voice in the little time here. I don't know what actually happened in between. I think like at one point there were 7 people in the room, so I don't know what happened. They were trying to re-add FCs and do all this stuff, but finally underway. We pretty much have a tie ball game. We pretty much have a full war. We just have a 3 GP war now, and whoever wins it is gonna go on and advance, and whoever doesn't is gonna go into the Shark Tank, like I mentioned earlier. Looks like we're getting Waluigi Stadium, Luke in first, as he's been most of this war. He is the host of this, so I mean, let's see what he can do here. Let's see if he'll get outlined off the rip, which is looks like what is gonna happen. Jeff just getting the better of him so far. We saw it on TK Mountain, and then we saw Luke just get right back into it. So far, so good for Jeff, but again, when it comes down to these strats, I mean, Luke. Oh, okay. Jeff holds his ground for now, but still a lot that can be done. A failed turn skip, and it could be right back to this Luke v Jeff 1v1. But no, it's not Luke. Maybe the first flub of the entire match for him, and this is an early top 3 for BNL. And oh, as I say that, Leo, I don't know. I don't know what to say about Leo. I feel like he's not pulling his weight so far. That should have been easy top 3, and he just fails a turn, and because of that, I think kills Dane in the process. And now Luke with a shroom in second can really make up some ground here. Leop's on another POV, getting shocked in last. I think this is gonna be England shock here. Yes, there is the shock. Xander dodging. Red going for Luke though. You'll take that. You need Xander to just stay in first here. And a lap 2 shock is really interesting considering it looks like, I don't know, I feel like yours is, or not yours, D-Fly is in last place, but we'll see how that affects the rest of this race. Jeff getting destroyed. I think he got pushed behind the turn there, and because of that, he's gonna go way down. Luke with triple shrooms here. Can he live? I'd be so surprised if he lives this. Oh my, I mean, he did literally everything. I think the only misplay there is he uses his shroom before getting hit. Now he can't take the cut. Oh, if you're Luke, you can. If you get great items, you can obviously do the cut. This is going to come down to the second shock. Where is it coming from? We could switch to Leops here. We haven't seen much of Leops in this race, but they're neck and neck. We do see a shock. We do not see a TS. It's a missed TS from whichever team decided to call that shock. I feel like that's an BNL missed target shock. And at this level, you can't be making that sort of mistake. I don't know if that's on Dragonfly. I don't know if that's on a runner for missing that call, but that's like a 10-point swing down the drain there. And I think England are going to win this race and get top 2. That is insane. I'm not sure what's going on. Because that's just, at this point in the match, you feel like BNL are doing pretty well here. That's not something we're expecting to see. And Xander and Fred, big sigh of relief for both of them. Somehow they survive. I'm not sure how you could miss that. Especially if they're top 2. You have 2 targets there. You miss both of them. Very strange. I think maybe the cast missed it on the transition, but I don't know. Emil's back with me here. You missed quite a strange race, to say the least. There's a lap 2 shock from England, which gave BNL lap 3 shock before the TS ramp, and they just missed. And because of that, England get a top 2.
Oh, no way. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I at least I feel like that's what happened. I don't know if anyone in chat can confirm that. But yeah, a big flub here. It seemed like BNL had got all those nerves out, and they make a pretty annoying misplay that probably takes their race into a 2-3-4 if they get one of the two players. But not a big deal. You've done so much to get to this point, and we're finally back, or they're finally back. So you're chilling here. Get your track pick. Just forget about it. Keep going.
Koopa Volcano, though, honestly, I have very conflicting feelings about this track, but in the context of like spectating this, we're gonna need to see mushrooms, and as we can see, Leob's having triple mushrooms in third place. Insane item to have right here. Almost
Yeah.
a guaranteed race win if you
No.
play cards against
Oh, and
the
he's
track.
off too.
Okay,
I was
yep,
gonna
all
say
right.
he just needed to survive, and survive is what he couldn't do there. You'll get a golden, but man.
Stop, Brock. Spin drifting to
Oh.
the left. It's just, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you just don't see these things from Leops. He's playing a little shaky. We saw that DKM cut fail for no reason whatsoever, and I guess it's still continuing here. Maybe just on the big stage, a little bit of nerves here. Nice pow. I think
First
Jeff. Yeah,
avoids it.
I think Jeff avoids it too. He does that little drop down strat, and I think Jeff's gonna take cut. So that's a really.
Jeff's off.
Oh, he fell off. What?
Leob's going
was
for wheel rock.
definitely-
Makes
He
it.
was definitely doing cut, and he just jumped off.
Oh no, dude. That's just no. Can't afford to be doing that. Now we still have Zach in one. No sign of shrooms for sure. Gonna see if Leops can maybe try to pull a shroom here. Get some items to get Zach out of first, but BNL.
One of the baggers is running. Someone just pulled the shock, and this is gonna change everything here. I can't tell. Oh, early
We see
shock.
one Dodger coming up.
It's gonna be
Gonna be Fred. Remember,
Yeah, he
you're gonna
should
see
be able to
Fred
take
taking
cuts.
respawn.
No,
See
he's
Luke out
not.
here as well. Luke shrooming up after that shock as well. Gonna be able to take respawn. Oh, almost gets bumped, but is able to make it safely. Are we gonna be seeing top 3 from England maybe?
Yeah, assuming no blue. This is looking like a really strong race. Let's see if Luke looks back here.
Oh,
Some reds
Fred-
online.
Fred's
Fred is
off.
off. I think
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah. I think Leops might have got a jackpot pull going around cut. He might have got triple reds. We saw a lot of reds going for different players. And I think Fred just couldn't survive. But I think BNL or England still get a top 2 out of it. But man, Fred is definitely kicking himself. He was probably like so close to getting the trick off that ramp and just living, and instead just falls into that tiny crack.
Can we get a Fred is dead in the chat for our boy right now? All the way to 8th place off of that. Should have been a top 3 for England. That race absolutely changed so drastically because of those reds at the end.
Yeah, and you have to think Fred was the one who dodged, so like you're not expecting him to lose from that position. I think he might have dodged in third, so his chances of chaining a good item were pretty limited. But he was probably the main factor of why they called that shock, and he got last out of it. But it did help Luke. Luke gets a good position, good shock from Jazz too, and I don't know. Maybe you look back at that race, think you could have done a little bit better, but at this stage, I'm happy with just trying to chain good races instead of going for big races.
No, literally, a lot of things are changing based on uncharacteristic events, like that lap 2 fail right before the rock that we saw from Jeff. I was gonna put BNO in a really good spot for that race, even with the shock that did happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like these are mistakes we were expecting to see, or not expecting to see at all, but if they were gonna happen, they should have already happened because BNL were playing so bad at the beginning, and it looked like they turned it around, but they're kind of proving me wrong. Some of these mistakes are very uncharacteristic, but maybe even just being a little too harsh on them because they're still in this match. An early bomb on Leops.
This is a track that I'm always very interested to see from these two teams because this is another track that I know Jeff and Leop's very strong. And Leop's getting bombed again in this bottom spot. Oh my god.
Can't catch a break here. We can switch to Luke. Luke just got sniped out of first on our other POV, so he's gonna be in 5th here. And I think It's
BNL in
2-3.
2-3 right now.
Top
Dane,
3.
no, top three for
Top
BNL
3.
right now.
And just like that, and Leop's having a tough time, but right now he's in a pretty good position for his team, making sure no bills in play. Leo backing his
Taking out a
item there.
third.
I think he
Luke
backed his
making
item and
moves in
just,
the top three. Yeah, he
yeah.
had a fib and backed it last turn, unable to defend himself from the red. Oh, not getting affected by this pal. Fred
That's a
making his way into
very weird
third.
POW.
Oh, that bump though gonna set Luke back just a little bit. But we still see England 3, 4, 5 might be able to get some items to break into this top two. Maybe a blue shell.
Yeah, and
We
you
see a
can't
mega.
rely on shock on this track. That is a great item, but it might be a little bit of false hope because now you're gonna hold this for a while. Few items are gonna go by without you chaining for blue. And I think that's really the only item that can win you this race other than shock, and on Coconut Mall, shock is really hard
See the mega
for it to
being
be a
activated.
factor.
2 megas are out right now. I'm not sure who the other mega is. It's Xander. No sign of a shock though.
Yeah, Leop's in 7th place on other POV, not really much to see on his side. He is not holding blue, that's the only thing we can get out of his POV. The
Oh, but
bomb
this
here,
divide between top 4 and bottom 4 right now is actually insane.
I wonder if he would top path here. Yeah, he's gonna try
He's going
something
for it. Is
crazy.
he gonna go for the bomb snipe?
I mean, he has nothing else he can do here.
Is that? I wonder where that's landing. I actually don't know where that's landing. No sign of it hitting, it seems.
Yeah,
Gonna
I
be
mean,
3-4 from England here.
it's ambitious, but look at this pack. He really
We're waiting on the
couldn't have
line.
done much.
We got
Yeah.
Xander in 5th. Who do we got in 6th? BNL in 6th. Zach
Yeah.
taking 7th.
Yeah, it looks like it's 7th or 8th there, so pretty mediocre race. And Leop's just got decimated, bomb after bomb. His race is pretty much over after those 2 bombs, but and BNL get the better items. They're able to take cut. I think Dane was responsible for a snipe on Luke that got Luke out of 1st place, and they just run it up after that. Dane, I mean, we haven't talked about Dane at all, really. Dane is on monster pace right now too. Luke on 118, Dane on 115. Like, these guys are just going head to head right now.
They're just taking turns, taking that top spot right now. Definitely not the 2 players that I expected. I mean, Luke in the front would make sense, but Dane on the side of BNL, not at all what I expected. But when you think about it, with everything that's going on right now, it's just insane how close this match is actually ending up. But BNL have yet to take the lead for this match. They're keeping it very close, 7-point difference between these 2 teams now, but no sign of taking the lead right now. Really will come down to this track pick right here and them getting a big enough race to take the lead away from England for the very first time.
Yeah, that is pretty true. I haven't even thought about it, but BNL have not been winning in this match at all, right? Is that the case? I don't even think they won race 1. Yeah, they got like top 2 forward race 1. So yeah, BNL, we've seen this story before with a team not being in the lead for a lot of the war and then coming out on top. So who knows what can happen here. And this match is closer. I mean, India were down probably like 30 at this point. I think you would remember better, but yeah, we were
definitely
teams
down a significant amount.
Yeah, we've seen teams come back before, and BNL are trying their hardest to take the lead for the first time in this match. And on their track pick, they have a really good chance to do so.
I think this is a very good comfort track pick for the side of BNL. I know a lot of BNL players opt to pick this one. One that comes to mind immediately, my guy May. Currently not playing in this match, but someone who I know loves to pick this track quite a lot. Leops making some moves right away, keeping Dane and Fred up here, trying
Jeff
to create a
got
little
taken
bit of a
out
divide.
early. Jeff got like smashed into a car. Oh, very close bomb there.
Oh, but gets an early
shot.
shot coming out. I couldn't quite catch which bagger it was using that, but we're gonna see right now D-Fly coming back. Xander making his way up there.
Yeah. Must
Zach
be
getting
shock.
hit out, but not passing the TC.
What? That looked like a clean pass.
Oh,
Xander
this
is
is
not. Ooh.
makes the pass, gets green, but
That's a great trade. Good. That was Xander. Xander was doing dodge that, so I was expecting him to be further up. So it looks like BNL have nullified the shock pretty well. I'd expect Dane to still be in first. We can switch over to Luke here, see what's going on in the front, and yeah, Dane keeps first after all that.
Seeing some of BNL behind Luke as well. It's very likely that England is trying to maintain the back middle spots, maybe get some power items to make their way up to the front this lap 3. This POW could do some damage to England. Not seeing it do very much. Fred and
I
Luke
think
still holding
Luke
on to
made a
2-3.
very smart play there. He backed that red onto the bomb car, and I saw someone spin out right behind him. So that's a really smart play there. A play that people don't make with that bomb car, and it might win his team the race here. This is looking like a 2-3-4.
Yeah, a
Pretty
little bit of
safe.
a divide between 4 and 5 as well. They should be able to hold on to this pretty easily unless Zach gets hit. No sign of that. Makes it
Late
across the line
shock.
as well.
I think it's a 2-3-4-7. That shock did not do anything for any team, it looked like. Just maybe a shock onto the last boost panel sort of thing. And it's probably from England, considering BNL were not in winning spot. So Jazz with a double shock race there, it looks like. And they get 2-3-4-7 out of it, extending their lead.
Honestly, just really really well played from England that race, hanging on to those spots. Dane just maintaining his
Man.
frontal presence that race, a 50 pointer right here. Wow.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Luke because we've watched his POV, but Dane is putting up similar numbers. I think Dane is now MVPing. Like these guys, if this war ended right here, Dane would have won 30 and Luke would have won 28. Those are some insane scores at the D1 level.
This is very uncharacteristic. Just seeing these gaps in the points. These are not what you would expect this type of table to look like. I'll go ahead and
Yeah, not
post
with
the
these
table link in the
players.
chat right now, but we can see just like Dane 130, only 2 people have broken 100, and the closest one after that is 94. Like, this is just so much different than any D1 table I've seen in like recent months, like in the season of GSC right now.
Yeah, and Leops is LVPing right now, on 62 points. I don't think Leops scored 62 in the history of GSC. Like, this is something we don't see every day. Probably something you never see ever again. But he has 2 GPs to come through for his team. His team needs him so bad at this point. Like, if you were to tell me that Leops was on 62 after 3 GPs, I would have thought England were up 40 at least. And it's not the case at all because Dane is really coming through here for his team. So Leops is probably thinking something similar. Like it's my time to shine. Like Dane, I know you're good and all, but this is really my team, and I gotta come through for the boys. And let's see if he can do it on the big stage.
Now we're seeing this is a track pick I was not expecting to see for 2468 Rainbow Road DDR on the same voting screen. This is at the start of a GP nonetheless.
That is, yeah. I mean, one thing that BNL like to do, one thing Ethereal like to do, I think we've made some jokes about in our servers before, but Jeff doesn't like to pick luck tracks. He likes to challenge the other team on skill tracks. I mean, we saw it to begin the war. He picked DK Summon in 2-4. We're seeing Rainbow Road as well, which it's a pick. It's a pick for sure in 2-4. But Luke versus Jeff is gonna be the first battle here. Let's see if he can come out on top.
Looks like Luke's gonna be able to maintain it past the sand up. Triple nanas in one. Really, really good item to pull here for defense. Not gonna get hit by anything. And Xander's slipping into second right
Yeah,
away.
Jeff is nowhere to be seen. I think Jeff was the guy who started in second, and he's not there anymore. So whatever happened, it must have been some sort of lag because we didn't see Jeff at all. Maybe he burned out, something bad, but Luke just gonna run it up. We can switch over to Leops. Leops has a really, really strong position here. Golden in 5. Gonna make the
Barely
ultra.
makes it up top.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fred almost made the play there, stopping him
Maybe
from doing
able
ultra.
to get into second. Gonna see if Luke can maybe take him out right here.
TC. I think there's a TC here. If
Yeah, it
Leops
is
has
from
to
Zach.
survive here for his team.
The pass
No.
goes,
What a pass.
and he's not able to pass it back. What a shock coming out as well.
That has to be BNL shock. Like, there's no other reason to call it there. Bale coming in, and it's gonna be Leo, I think.
Of course, the one and only. No item in fifth though. Not what you want to see at this point. But Jeff has triple shells, not reds. Leo getting hit out
He
as
gets
well.
taken out.
Zach
Zach gets
also
taken
getting
out
hit
too.
out. The
Nice
Sandhog lands on the fib.
Oh, and he'll get power combo. He can't even get it
Oh,
out in
no.
time.
But still seeing a mix of England and BNL back here. And oh, into the dirt though.
Xander just trying to disrupt Leos probably means that, I mean, yeah, we can see that England are probably in dominating spot. Looks like 5, 6, 7 for BNL. We could switch over to Luke here in third place. Jeff, the only top spot, seems like.
No sign
We've
of a
seen some
shock here.
crazy endings on this track so far. We see another one here.
We're just gonna see Luke in third and oh, Zach getting
gets
mega on the line.
Yeah, it looks like 2-4-5 for BNL there.
Wow, almost a pretty decent race for England, but just drastically changed once again by an exchange at the end. Not sure if Zach was gonna get fourth or fifth there, but getting mega there just confirms that he was not beating either one of those members.
Yeah, and one thing I want to talk about is that lap 2 shock. Like, that's a shock that you're probably never gonna see again. It's such a weird spot, and like lower division players I feel like are never gonna call that. But Leops understood if he gets taken out there and they don't call a shock, they're just gonna run in top 2, and Leo's build is not gonna make it up to first place if they don't call it there. So it was more of a desperation shock, but one that it was a great idea. It just didn't come out, didn't work as planned because Leo got taken out, and then Leops with some like very interesting way of taking the sand top, using the trick instead of getting a drift, but landing on a fib that he did not know was there. Pretty much ended his race. I was
surprised that he went for that sand hop specifically. I thought for sure he was going to elect to go between the two cacti rather than going for the full sand hop, especially with where he was landing. And that very much cost him. He just perfectly landed on the fib, got comboed by the POW as well. A lot less of a chance to make an impact on that race. And as we can see from the results so far, that ended up being a +1 race for England.
Yeah,
now we're going
again,
to BCWE.
It's seemed like a lot of these shocks are just not like done enough for the teams using them. And in that race, I understand why it didn't work out. It's just it's just shock to keep you in the race, but we haven't seen like some dominating shock calls so far. At least I can't remember too many.
Yeah, it's just like any shock that has been called has created a significant impact to some capacity, but not the capacity that's enough to turn the tides of an entire war. BCWE though, who's gonna go for glitch? Surely somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
And very interesting from Jeff's POV there. He got ready twice. He blocked both, but then get to TC. He passes the TC as well, but so much chaos from Jeff's POV here.
Maybe
no glitches. Looks like Leops gonna get into first. Oh,
Leo being taken up by that backspin as well, but Jeff able to slip into second, and now we have this top 3 that I've been waiting to see for a while.
Yeah,
well, mostly.
And that was a good backspam trade there. Leops gained a lot of space. That green might have taken out Jeff, but yeah, that green was, despite it hitting Leo, it made sure that he could run here. Oh, what an avoid! He knew nothing about it. Just got a little lucky, I guess.
No bump into the wall.
Yeah, he's safe now. I think you're gonna
seeing Leop slow down here. Blue surely coming out, but a shroom in one. Dodge it. Yes, let's go.
I mean, I think that's an England blue as well. I don't know why Leops would make a play like that so early in the race. If that was, there's no way he's doing that. So Luke just catching Leops out there, and now this is so nice for him.
Need to see more of BNL up here. That's probably the only reason that Leops would even bother making a play like that. When you have all of England behind you, you need to do what you can to get them closer to the other BNL members so that they can be sent to the back. Now we're just gonna see Luke holding on to first.
We can swap POVs here.
Yeah, seeing Leops behind this top 3.
And this is top 3. This could be over. This race could be over right here.
Needs to make a play, unable to make the pass.
Zach gets killed a little bit.
Oh, Zach getting sent all the way back here. Dane's still back here as well. It might be time. It might be time for a glitch attempt.
Yeah, you gotta go for it. Luke probably blocked it. There's a blue
out.
It's gotta be Shroomless if you're going for it. And he
glitch
can't.
is
That is
blocked.
very
Yeah.
well done.
And
Pow's
a
another
POW as
great
well.
item.
This could be a deadly combo if it ends up mattering. Never mind. England is just by the line already. Zach
Nice
passes to
CC
Fifi.
pass. And he passes
Passes
to
it to
Dane.
Dane.
He gets single shroom. He gets shroom glitch, I think.
Oh,
Or maybe
no.
split box.
Oh, no. This is so bad for BNL.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
England just got a massive race there.
I don't like we gotta talk about that lap 2 blue. There's no like I can't see a world where Leops is like, you know what, I don't want you to hold blue. Let me just stop here and let Luke get blued. Because like Leops is not gonna be in first after stopping because like Xander's right there, so
Wow.
yeah. Top 3, 6 out of that.
All right. Surely now we see a Rainbow Road pick from England. Surely. I think you have a lot of running tracks that have been played already. You might have to elect with something that is probably going to be unsurprising. I feel like Rainbow Road's a pretty good option here, but maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not. Thoughts?
Yeah, Rainbow Road is a spicy pick here, but I mean, look at Leops is on really, really bad pace here. Just he can't get anything going for him. He's on 68 here, down 36. Time's running out for him to really make his mark on this match. Like, you give Leops 20 races to make his mark, he's making it after race 1. And so far, we just have not seen that sort of impact from him. And it's costing his team dearly.
And right now, England just keeps on building up their lead. It just does not seem possible for BNL to break into these top spots whatsoever. No matter what they do, there's just always going to be some England member making their way up, unable to have any BNL members like invade at all. Like anytime we see BNL up in the front, they just get taken out one way or another.
Yeah, it's so strange. I'm still thinking about that blue because I just think any team could have thrown that in. Like, I don't know. It's super weird. But Maple True golden in 7th. I mean, we're talking about it. We need some more frontal presence. If he doesn't get hit, which is a big if, this could be really nice.
Until the Wiggler section up here, maybe even until the end of the lap, since BNL 2-3-4 right now.
Yeah, he's gonna
just
hold
Xander
this.
in 1.
He's safe. He knows he's safe from any England attack, so he's just gonna hold on to this and surely gets into first as long as he doesn't get niched by. Oh,
Unfortunate.
Oh, okay.
Fortunate placements there, but still in striking range. Has to use his golden
That's
early
the
out of
golden
fear of the Reds.
early. Yeah, and I think Xander's gonna keep first.
Ever so slightly. Leop's itemless, so Xander can make a hit if he decides to. Green goes up, not connecting with Leop, so he's able to hold on to 1, just barely with Leo right behind him. Top 2 BNL right now, and a shot comes out for England.
Wow.
Three dodging, at least. I'm not sure if that was a quad dodge or not, but England now. Oh my gosh, are they top 4?
I think they're top 4, and like the way Leops and Leo went into the cannon, they had no idea what was coming next. Then, I mean, that's probably on D-fly a little bit. Oh my god.
Staying on the track barely, has to find a way to break into these top
Zach's
spots, but
just
no,
destroying them.
Oh, Dane able to shroom up though.
They need second shock. I don't think
I need to pull it here.
there's like not much in this race other than second shock that can save them here. Fred even taking cut to extend that lead. Few blues and gets boxed on by his own teammate.
Are we gonna be seeing
And he
a
got
shock?
blooper.
No. Seeing a mega come out as well. It's likely we want to see a spam, but no signs of life with another shock. Although they are making a little bit of a gain on England right now, it's still going to be very hard to make a mark, especially with what we're seeing right now.
Yeah,
it just seems
2
like the
item
top
sets
3 is
left.
established.
These items are just not it. I mean, I don't think there's any item other than blue that could have done it for him.
Oh, and Nana lands on him as well. BNL bottom 3 right now.
Jazz is running
Can
as
Zach
well.
break in? Can Zach break into that 4th spot?
Yeah, I mean, he might get 5th. He might get 4th.
Okay, we're seeing some airtime.
It's just one of those wars for Leops. Like, and we're all witnessing this together. It's just a 1 in a million sort of war for him. Nothing's working. Gets into first there, instantly shocked out. And it's just, what can you do in his position there? Like, you feel, I don't think he's playing like so bad, but it's just not Leop's level. And, man, top three.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing the plays that need to be made. Like that Maple beginning was showing signs of life, but unless they knew that Jazz had shock, there wasn't really anything you could do there. They just had to go in top two, maybe try to hold on to that top two. But England was able to get a quad dodge. I'm not sure what happened with the other BNL members, how they really got sent to the back, unable to make any sort of impact on that shock that was used by England there. Like
Yeah,
it's just not what I would expect to see at all. And now we have England up 63 towards the end of GP4 here. It's looking bad. We need to see a big race from BNL here to show any signs of life to make a GP5 comeback.
yeah. Now we're at that point of desperation. I'm not sure what to say because this has really surprised me. We saw them look hopeless at the beginning of this match. Then they came back and looked so strong. Looked like they were gonna really give it their all. And England are just taking it right back, taking it away from them. And they might take Rainbow Road away from as well. Just taking everything away. And they're
And
gonna
we
get
see
their
Rainbow
track
Road.
back. I think we start with Luke here. See if he can keep first. I feel like you have top 3-5 as long as that guy in fourth doesn't draft or doesn't pull like an early bomb. This should be a free run for him, but for the sake of the match, maybe if Luke flubs a little bit, we'll be cheering on the inside. But let's see.
Honestly, I see this one as being a strong runner for England as well. I know Luke has time trialed this in recent months, has a pretty strong time here. At the beginning of the race is when BNL has to make a move into these top spots. If not, it's going to come down to the bagger battle to see which one goes for the strat, which one makes it, and who can start getting boxes in 10th for free.
Yeah, I looks like I'm looking at the bag, but one of the baggers has fallen off. Both baggers have fallen off, so nobody is gonna be able to do the strat. So, and that favors England here.
Oh wait,
Oh,
D-Fly is going
oh.
D-Fly going back potentially. Nope, doesn't look,
That's
maybe
such a
just a bait.
strange play from D-Fly because he gave Jazz a box in 9, like uncontested. If that was shocked, that just would have been a horrible play. But looks like Luke has survived. We could go see what's going on with Leops. A POW that doesn't target POW. Maybe it was the England POW. Look,
You
oh
know,
wow.
sure.
Oh no.
This
This
and
is the beginning of the end.
look at the split. This is
Yeah,
an
they're
insane
so
in the
far
back
back.
as well. What happened? I took a quick peek at the POV and saw Leops getting bombed at the beginning of lap 2. We're gonna need to see a shock right here if they want any chance of coming back into this race. Not happening.
Yeah, Dragonfly just gonna touch box after box after box in 9, and at some point someone's gonna get it. You're assuming Jazz is gonna get it. We did see a blue on their other perspective. It's still top 3 though. And they're gonna need POWs and blues and shocks. This could be the end of the war right here, because like this could be a 90-point lead going into the last GP. It's top 4. It's just top 4 and top 4 gone, kind of like.
The
I
gap
don't know
did
what to say.
close a little bit compared to the last lap, and now we're seeing a mega from Leops. We just genuinely need a shock soon. One of the baggers going for a box, no signs of pulling it. The other bagger goes for it.
Has to be here. This is it. This could be the war
No,
right here.
no sign of any
No
shock coming out.
shock.
And can
Even
we
if he
see
gets
an
third
impact?
or something, like I don't know. Might
This
go for
could
this
be-
little
this
skip
could be the
here.
end.
Yeah.
Makes it. Can he break into fourth? Maybe like a pow. A pow might be what he needs to break in,
No.
but he's bumped off. Oh no!
Oh my god. On any
And we're
other
seeing
day,
Wow.
on any other day, Leops is probably making some heroic comebacks there, but it's just not happening. Sometimes
He
this
had,
game just denies you.
he had room to maneuver. I think he could have afforded to go a little bit wide. It would have been just fine if he did so, but he tried to take a tight line, knew he could try to squeeze past one more runner, but we just see an England top 4 as a result of that.
Triple 40s coming in from England. That's how
Oh
you
no.
know they're on it. Like, Dane finally slowing down. I mean, he couldn't go on forever, and it finally comes to an end. And I'm scared to look at the score, because I don't think it's possible for Benelux to come back from this.
Oh, don't worry, I got you. We got England up 92 with 1 GP left. So, technically speaking, it's possible. We got a nice little FW Matt story potentially happening here. I think it can happen this last GP if everyone pulls it together, starts playing out of their minds like I know they can. I think it can happen. What do you think about this, Zesty?
I'm pretty pessimistic. This might go up to plus 120 sort of war. I just can't see it changing. And it's crazy to think that this war, after 2 GPs, was pretty much tied. Like, England were up 2. That's nothing. And just 2 GPs later, they're up 92.
Like, what happened? I genuinely
I
don't know
wish
what
I wish I
happened.
could tell you. I think a lot of us are scratching our heads, thinking, "How is this falling off the rail here?" Like, I don't
I
know.
mean, just looking at the table here, we still see like a significant divide between like the scores of like some players. We have 3 players on England that have all broken 100, with one just shortly behind. But on the side of BNL, we have only 2 breaking 100, one slightly behind, and then one that's still a little bit of a ways away. Not sure if we'll even be seeing that. Like, this is not at all what I would expect. We're just not seeing the impact that needs to be made. Like, I know that all these players on their own are very more than capable of breaking into these top spots, but they don't seem to be able to do it in a way that benefits their team as a whole. It just
Yeah,
does
we're
not make
just
sense.
seeing, yeah, just individuals getting up there. Honestly, it's we haven't seen a lot of Leo in the front, I feel like. But I mean, I can't shift my blame on him, considering Leop's on 75 points. Like, a lot of people gave Edison a lot of crap for being on bad points, and I think Leops might underscore him, but we'll
I
see.
I I would be very shocked. I've got to admit. But in the meantime, we're back on DK Mountain. As mentioned earlier, we do have repicks, so tracks from GPs 1 through 4 can be played again. But Leop's being taken out, and Luke just able to run 1 right now.
Yeah, Leops on another POV just struggling in the back as he has been for a lot of this, and Luke. I mean, the difference between our POVs is so shocking. Like, and it's crazy. It sounds so weird. Luke is on 100 more points than Leops is. I mean, you're never gonna hear any caster ever say that ever again. Like, I can guarantee that. There's just no way anything happens like this.
And
And
like what is happening? England's just top
top
3.
3 gone. Top 3
And
gone.
oh wait, okay, are we gonna see a one bagger moving forward and a shot comes out? Who's on Wario?
Yeah. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Jeff or Leo.
It's
TC
gotta
in
be Leo,
third.
right? It's Leo. It's Leo on
Yeah.
Wario. Is Luke getting redded out here? Yeah, I think so. Not gonna be able to pass this TC to Jeff. Can he pass it to Leo?
Yeah, of
Makes
course
the
he
pass.
can. Of course he can. Even in the worst situations, he's finding a way to benefit.
Wow, that shot just gave some life to BNL. They can make their way up here. Jeff getting
Oh.
fifth out though. Xander getting green. In England still just top 2, but Fred being taken
Okay.
out.
I
Maybe
think
one more shock. Maybe one more. Just shock Zach out here, and you're in it.
Oh,
They shock
they
Zach
get another
out.
one.
They
Okay.
get him out.
They need
No
top
way,
4
dude.
to really like give themselves some hope here. So top 4 or
Is this-
bust.
Oh, the blue comes
go.
out for Leops as well. But who's
Every
behind
time.
him? BNL. Oh, Leops getting
Oh,
comboed as
no.
well.
And Leo's
Are they-
back here.
I think we can switch over to Luke real quick just to watch the mid pack of this ending. Gotta see, he's golden in
Oh.
5th right now. England 3-4.
Oh,
He gets
what?
swarmed! What?
From where?
That's no way.
On his head.
And Leops making a move at the end, able to get.
Hold on.
Wait,
That was definitely
Where-
5, 6,
wait,
7.
was that top 4 for BNL?
I think it was. I think it was.
There's
It's
just
top
no
4,
way.
top 3 5s. Xander definitely got last 3, got pushed off at the end.
The Wario strat? Is it alive? There's no
No
way.
way. I was gonna say something like every time we were optimistic about BNL getting something good, it just got taken away from them. But in the end, nothing stopped
Wow.
them. Top 4-9. I'm not gonna say we have a match, but
The
yeah, uh,
beginning.
it's the
There's
beginning.
signs of life. There's signs of life now. Like
Yeah,
60 points in 3 races.
they have.
It's if they
Yeah,
keep this up, it's very doable. It's very
have
very doable.
every track in the game to pick from. So
I feel like this is just a TF pick. I don't really know what else you
yeah,
go
no
here.
hesitation from Leops. First one to pick. I mean, for the sake of the cast, for the sake of the match, give us some Toad's Factory. Rainbow Road as well. Interesting.
Okay,
Ooh,
I like this split pick. I respect this. I think either one of
come
these tracks
on.
can work out well. I think Rainbow Road is a little bit safer, if I'm being honest, because with Toad's Factory, you have a lot more variability on how your beginnings go, and we're going to be seeing Rainbow Road
Oh,
come out.
here we go.
Can we get a complete 180 of what we saw the last time on Rainbow Road? Can BNL hold on to their top spots, and are we going to see Dragonfly elect to go for the strat potentially?
Oh, it starts here. You get one top 4. Maybe you chain it to another one. Who knows what can happen? A bomb here could literally end the race. Single red. Nice backs though. This star's not gonna do as much as I thought it would. Luke is off on the other POV. Mega in 4.
The Mega and 4, you could do some schlagging if you want to stay behind your
Just
teammates just a little bit.
No.
Oh, no,
What?
he's off the track. No, that's not what you want to see here.
I don't.
Really golden opportunity to just schlag right there and unable to make the most out of it.
I'm just so disappointed with that selection there. I feel like he could have done. You didn't have to go for it. He was the 4th man with a Mega. You didn't have to go for that shortcut there. I don't know. I just really don't agree with how he's played that, and it's cost him his race. We could switch over to Luke.
Who is? I'm not sure who fell off and is behind Leops now, but we're
Dane's
seeing.
back here too. Fred. Okay, Fred's an 8th.
Oh boy, probably still seeing. I'm looking for the Wario on the mini map. I think I see the Wario
He's
in first place.
Okay.
So we have Leo up there. I want to say it's Jeff behind him as well. So still pretty good spots for BNL right now.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Bill in play. I don't know if Jeff got taken out. Someone spun out right before the wavy section, and Jeff is back here
Jeff
now.
is taken out. It's still no sign of shock. Both baggers just sitting at the set. It's a very
You can
neutral race.
switch to Leops here. Leops has actually caught himself back up. I think he was the one in the bill. Top two, 4 here.
Or maybe he can get a bank shot on Xander right here.
Yeah, he's gonna try for it for sure.
Ah, hits the Nana almost. That would have been a huge. Breaks into third anyway.
Yeah, Xander overextends there. I think. Oh, triple red.
This is huge. This is such a good pull. This is exactly what you need to establish yourselves in the top spots.
Can he live here?
Break past.
Oh.
Luke's able to avoid. Gets Nanas to avoid the red.
And a blue. He's not gonna make it the cannon.
Oh,
he passed
what is
it.
that?
And makes it back to red. No, he's
Dane
gonna keep
gets
it.
hit.
Luke is
Still-
completely dead on our other POV. He gets TC'd and bombed.
Still
Leops
seeing
here.
top 2 for BNL right now.
Oh
Bomb.
no! Blue again.
Xander getting bombed as well. Still top 2. Leo definitely. Leo electing to not stop before the
Yeah,
ramp.
he doesn't stop.
Oh, this could be bad for Leo.
Hit. Oh,
Leops gets
no.
back. Oh no. This is not what you want to see. Getting hit by so many things.
Every
Bottom 2 for
time.
BNL.
Every time, Leops is in a promising position.
Oh no, dude.
Every time.
No, that's not what you want to see. BNL had that race. They had so much control over that race in the first 10 seconds and tossed it all away right before the cannon lap 1.
Yeah, I still, yeah, we gotta go back to that. I feel like there's so much more he could have done. I've never, like, I'm never going for that cut there, especially with a Mega. I think there's a POW as well. Like, they were never gonna get past you there, and instead he goes
You
for a
have no
cut.
reason. Exactly. You just have no reason to be going for a cut there. You're in a seat where you can just slam the brakes in the Mega and start squishing people that are approaching that cut section. Really able to mess up their race, divide up your top 3 and your bottom spots. It was all right there, but just really unfortunate blunder.
Yeah, then the score is now plus 66 for England, which means two
We need
top
an
four
all run.
nines are not enough. You need to all run in. It's the World Cup. There's no GSC points. There's no points, pity points, or anything like that. You gotta go for it. Maybe they accept the loss and just practice just playing some good Mario Kart. I don't know, because Goldmine is definitely not a all run sort of track. Maybe they're
Now
going for the
hold
troll
on.
pen.
Let him cook. Let him cook for
Yeah,
a second.
we'll
Maybe they all
see.
run. Maybe they all run.
They
Maybe
could
they all run.
chain they could chain the top 4 9 into an all run, I believe.
That is true, but it might. I'm not sure if they want to bank on getting a top 4 9 here. They could maybe bank on getting an all-run race here and seeing if that's good enough to try to get a really good last race as well. But we are seeing the baggers go backwards. And nope, switch the POV, switch the POV.
That's
We're
how
done.
you
We're
know.
done here.
That's how you
We're done
know.
here. So, all right, so we got Luke in 7th right now. Pulls another golden himself, gonna be able to surely not drive
He
off the
might go
track
for
this time,
turn
make it
skip
go
himself. I mean,
no, please no. Okay,
okay.
England just holding on to top 2 right now. Really good start from England. I don't know, I didn't catch who else he passed. Jazz in 10 right now.
If you're like honestly, this is probably not a good thing to say as a caster, but if you're Benelux, you have to go for troll pens.
I
It's
mean,
a pretty troll heavy
literally,
track.
with this beginning, it might be your only option. England's already top 3. A blue shell coming in, though, gonna split up that top 3 just a little bit. Oh, Luke
Ooh.
getting comboed as well.
You can switch over
Down to 8.
Leops. He has a bomb in 4th here. Has to make a big play here to have a chance.
Yeah, get them at the ramp landing.
Don't get back to. Ooh.
There was
That's
landing.
I don't even know where that bomb went.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that ended up going, but another item that could potentially disrupt his top 3. He might just like to chain it. No box.
Doesn't get it. Wow.
And low impact on the top 3 as well. We see someone using Bill.
It's
Jeff,
Jeff, but I don't.
no sign of a
He's
shock.
just gonna get killed. He has no
What
item.
England has here. Fred has a red.
Yeah, there he goes.
Dane making moves as well. We got to see some massive shock right here to have any chance of BNL making this comeback, and we're not seeing it come out. In fact, Dane was just predicting an England shock right there. Hold on, Dane kind of cooking, but can BNL break into these top spots at all?
He needed a bomb there. That was his only win
not
con.
enough. No, and
late
Luke
shot.
dodges up, and Fred dodges up, and Leops is getting starred, and that's a bottom 3 for BNL. That's wraps.
I think that's a top 4. I think that was a top 4. So they gave us some
shot.
fight. I think it
No
was. I think
shot,
Jeff got
dude.
killed at the end there. Whoever decided to
Oh,
curse Leops
no, dude.
today is just laughing at it, sitting in his chair, just smiling, feet kicked
Oh
back.
man.
Man,
I'm in complete disbelief at everything I've been seeing. There's just so much that could have gone better. And wow,
and
it
there
was.
it is.
It just was unbelievable. I thought for sure that Jeff was dodging up as well, but maybe they shocked him out. Perhaps I missed that.
I think Luke might have dodged with triple reds. Just one of those wars. Leops needs
Surely.
first place to break 100 points. I hate to bring up points a lot because obviously in a team game it doesn't matter that much, but after 5 GPs, you're expecting everyone to get to the 100-point club, and Leops of all players.
Man. This is okay. I think we can focus on that, but we also got to focus on, is Luke gonna break 200?
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
think we've seen anyone break 200.
different. Yeah, I think Batcake might have been close. I remember Batcake was on some insane pace.
He got 199 in his match.
Yeah.
So
Alright,
backing highest
Luke's
scoring right
on
now.
Luke's on 193, it looks like. So
Yeah, literally just needs fourth.
fourth or higher, and Leops needs first.
I mean, Mario Circuit. What are we playing? What are we playing here? We're playing Mario Circuit. All right.
It's funny. Both Jeff and Leops are picking Mario Circuit. You'll never
I
see them
approve.
pick it ever again.
I approve. I approve of Mario Circuit. It's exactly what you want to send it off on. You know, I don't even know what to expect. Like this match did not at all go how I expected it to, how to go. Like I expected it to be like as close as it was after that GP2, but we just saw England just completely take over.
Yeah, and we should talk about from BNL perspective. Losing this match is not even close to the end of the world. You're not going to play a team of this strength in that 2-2 match, and you're probably not going to play a team of this strength in the first round of the elimination bracket. So, like, this team is definitely chilling here. Like, obviously, they've wanted to make this competitive, they wanted to advance, but I don't think anyone, anywhere is doubting this team's ability to win their next match and go on a big run where it actually matters.
Yeah, I mean, Benelux does have round 5 of Swiss. I don't expect them to have the most difficult matches in the world, but like we gotta think about this performance from BNL, just what we saw on the cast. Like, do you think like their mental could be impacted? I don't see any reason why that's not a possibility. We've seen stuff like that happen before. Snowball carrying over into future matches as well. We just gotta hope that it doesn't affect BNL that way, because otherwise we could be seeing a much earlier elimination from the tournament than we anticipated at all.
Yeah, that is true. It is a pretty quick turnaround for this round 5 match, but I mean, if you're thinking about it from Leops'
Ah,
perspective, oh no,
no
no
200.
200. And it looks like BNL are actually gonna get a good race to end this one off. But yeah, one last thing I want to say: if you're looking at this from Leops' perspective, he's never gonna have a war this bad again, maybe in his life. Honestly, if there's any place to get rid of a match like that, it's right here because in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this match is gonna matter too much. Obviously, it impacts their seedings, but on their day, Benelux can beat any team in the world. So just that being said, I don't think there's anything to really be scared about, especially knowing that this next round you're probably playing against a team that you know you can beat.
Yeah, I think Benelux has a pretty clear shot of making it out of the bracket. Once again, very surprised to even see them in this spot. I definitely expected them to be out or to be like through at this point, right? Expected like both of these teams to be clear, but here we are. We have Benelux entering round 5 of the Swiss stage, something that I never could have expected. But I don't see why they have any reason to get eliminated in round 5. I feel like they should be all good to make it past their round 5 matchup. But I am excited to see who else is able to make an impact in this tournament. If we saw a match like this with Benelux and England, and we've seen other matches get really close, notably matches like Latin America and India. I like to bring up that match because that match was a lot tougher than I anticipated it to be from my end. And it was a good match as well. I think LTA is another strong team that we have to look out for. We got to see who else joins Benelux in round 5 and what sort of matches they can get and where they're going to end up being seated once we get to the bracket stage.
Yeah, for sure. And as a team that has a chance of potentially facing Benelux, we're just hoping that the luck does us some good here. Every team that's in a similar position to us is just hoping just don't draw Benelux for that 2-2 matchup. But someone's got to be unlucky. I'm hoping it's not us, but yeah, this match had its like highs. Like this, I mean, they were down 2 after 2 GPs, after being down 40 after the first GP. They had a chance to really snowball, but England, we have to give credit to England. Have to give credit to Luke, who's really put on a show for us in front of like 400 people. He did everything he could, and he did more than enough for his team to win. Jazz had a good performance too. I think everyone did their part. I think you're gonna see this lineup for the rest of the tourney, when you have a performance like this against another strong team, it's hard to go against this. And I think England have found their secret formula to win
Yeah,
this
Luke GB.
tournament.
Luke GB.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
saying it though. I've been saying it the whole time. No Luke, no win. We gotta believe in that. I don't really know. I would be surprised to see a huge variation from this England lineup playing in the future matches. I don't really know what sort of substitutions would be ideal here. I feel like Xander and Luke are both essential pieces for England's victory, along with Jazz, of course. But like the other two runners, I feel like you'll see some variance there. Depends on who is going to get in there.
yeah. We'll see what happens, but you can't feel anything but good if you're England. You've qualified. You're pretty much, well, I can't say guaranteed to get a good. Like, it is possible that England and Benelux could happen in the next round, is it?
That is a possibility,
That would be
yes.
insane.
That I'm pretty sure that is a possibility. I haven't really been keeping track of England's overall plus and minus. We could probably get back to that at some point, but since we have England in this round, it is very possible that England does take the third seed, and if all things go the way that it could potentially go, we could see Benelux in the sixth seed, and if that does happen, we have quite an insane quarterfinals match on our hands. But surely that doesn't happen, right? Surely.
Yeah, the thing is, every top team is looking at how Benelux is going to do in this next round, because if they could drop really far down, like they could win their next match by like 2 points, their plus minus can be really bad going into determining their seeding, and a team like US South, who is probably chilling, thinking they're gonna get a easier team, might not be the case because of Benelux being, you know, pretty much got destroyed this match. Their plus minus is not going to be very high, so we'll see what happens. I think that's going to be it from us. I think Latin America versus Scotland happening in 30 minutes, and tomorrow Canada versus Ireland happening at 3:30 p.m. EST. So a lot of important matches to be played. A lot of more teams gonna find out their fate. Any closing words?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. We got an exciting round four and round five coming up in the next few days. If you want to stay posted with all the matches that are going to be happening, be sure to join the World Cup Discord server. Schedules are posted, reschedules will be posted. You can stay up to date with the Swiss format as well. Can we pull up the Swiss graphic one more time just before we end the stream here? You can see right here, we just finished Benelux versus England. A lot more matches on the way, as Zesti mentioned. We have Latin America versus Scotland starting in just a little bit here. We should be getting a cast. Otherwise, we'll let you guys know where you can find coverage of that match going on. And surely we're going to see a lot of entertaining matches in round five towards the end of this week. I just can't wait to see how it all goes down. This match was a great beginning to round four, and I can't wait to see who makes it to round five, who makes it to the bracket stage, and how the rest of this tournament is going to play out.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself, but on behalf of myself, EmilP, and Fusion, our stream host, huge shout out to the stream hosts that are keeping the cast alive. I think that's it from us, and we'll be seeing you very shortly. Thank you.
Have a good one, y'all.